Mayday! Come in! If anyone can hear me, my starship has been pulled into the anomaly. I find myself in a strange new world. It is a world with no sun, no stars. It is a world of
anime,
comics,
Here we go!
gaming, movie, This world is the
Rogue Planets.
With your host, the Fat Mantis HD.
Hello, and welcome into Rogue Planet. I am your host, the Fat Mantis HD. I trust you are all having an amazing hump day. That's right, Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and this is the mark that you have made it over the hump. The rest of your week is smooth sailing, or should I say smooth drinking. And you know what I love? In the chat right now, what I'm seeing right now is a lot of Obi-Wan gifts. People are hitting it up with the Obi-Wan gifts because everyone is gassed because they saw that trailer. And that's right, tonight, with tonight's guest, Courtney Monroe from Saber Late Nights, we are going to be discussing what we saw. The main topic tonight, however, will be the final frank discussion about the Batman. It will be spoilers, but the good news is that's at the end of the show, the end of the hour. Thank you so much for stopping in. Much appreciated. As you know, the live show is always on Spotify Green Room. Hello.
Yo,
What is up, my friend?
what's happening, dude?
What's going on? How's your evening going?
Oh, it's going good, man. I'm sorry I'm running late.
Oh, no, it's quite all right. We've actually been talking. We decided to go ahead without you and started talking about the Obi-Wan trailer.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. But everyone, guys, this is Courtney Monroe, the headmaster of the lightsaber, or the Saber Light Knights,
Yes,
located
sir.
out of Charlottesville, Virginia.
That is correct, my good man.
And if you end up, or if you're actually in Green Room, feel free to drop any links you want. Just go for it. No worries.
Sweet, man. I will do that. Yeah, I'll hop in the green room in just a second. I'm dialing everything up.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all right.
Yeah, I literally walked in the door and like scrambled to get on you.
And so it looks like everyone's saying if you could raise the volume of your mic.
Raise the volume. All right, let me see what I can do here. Hold on here. How's that?
Oh, that's way better. That is way better.
That better? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, and so first question I have for you. Of course, you're a Star Wars man. I assume you've seen the trailer.
So can I just say this? What is this Obi-Wan show everyone's talking? No, I'm joking.
I was about to kick you from my show, brother. I was about to just
so-
kick your ass.
So actually, man, I saw it, but it was only when you sent me your reaction to it. That was actually my first time seeing it too.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I don't want to jump the gun, okay? Because you know what happens when you jump the gun.
Right.
I'm sure we'll get into that shortly with the Batman.
Yes.
But from what I saw, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I am exceedingly excited for what we're gonna get with this.
Yeah.
If it looks like, you know, what it's gonna be. If it's gonna be that, then I am most assuredly excited about it.
Yo, I am with you right now, and I try not to get too excited too. And here's the thing: Obi-Wan is probably one of my greatest heroes. Like, I love him more than like anything. And so I'm worried that I might just be, you know what I mean, having hero worship or whatever.
I understand, actually, yes. Obi-Wan is, a man crush, I guess is the term. If I had one, it would
Right.
definitely be him. And Antonio Banderas from Desperado, but that's so I hear you, man. We have to keep our expectations in check. because I am the one that coined the phrase Disney Star Wars can't miss. And unfortunately, as we're all aware, they did in fact miss.
So you're the one who jinxed. You're the one who jinxed us.
I'm the one that did it. It is my sincerest apology. But I will say, I wasn't entirely wrong, okay? Because even though it was a pile of shit, we did have gold inside of that shit. If I could be both crass and metaphorical at the same time. I'm just saying.
Right. No, I hear you. Yeah, it's been a battle. It's a struggle. Here's what it is. Any fandom that keeps going on longer than its original run, like for instance, past the original trilogy, it's a struggle to love it. It's a struggle to make them, certainly. Not everyone, even the original creator, doesn't always hit the bullseye, right?
Exactly.
The chat's mad at you, by the way. Chat is very mad at you.
The chat's mad. Oh, what did I do? Oh my god.
No, because you jinxed it by saying that Disney Star Wars can't miss.
I mean, look, that's a fair assumption for everybody because they were nailing it with Mando, right? They were killing it with Mando.
Yeah.
And then we got what we got, and I didn't see it coming. I don't think the rest of us did either. I'm just saying. With
Boba, I don't even have words, man.
It was crazy. I mean, we talked about that ad nauseum, but I mean, even the first 2 episodes weren't that bad. It was only when the what are they called? The prosthetic people, when they showed up, is when it kind of jumped the shark a little.
Oh yeah, the pike.
Yeah. So not the fish people, but the ones that have like the mechanical parts.
Oh, the mods. The mods. Oh
yeah.
god.
And I can't believe I'm saying the term "jump the shark" and talking about Star Wars at the same time. But it kind of did. Yeah, no,
you're right. At that point, it was just pure nonsense. Yeah, they ran out of story. But I was just telling everyone before you got here, and you know I'm a big fan of the theory that Obi-Wan's a drinker, but they can't go into it because it's a kids movie.
Look here, man. Okay, a telltale sign of someone being a drinker. Okay, especially as they get up there in age, is that look of like leathery skin. Okay, and people can say what they want about the harsh desert planet of Tatooine. But that man's skin looking real leathery in that trailer.
Yes.
We all know he's knocking back a little too much of that Bantha milk. I'm just saying, baby. I'm just saying.
Hold Up TV says like Mantis.
He just, gosh, can't resist a little Mantis shade, huh?
No, he cannot. He cannot.
What's up, Carmen?
But the funniest thing is that so if you watch the trailer, I want you to watch the trailer again. And watch it, and one of the first signs that you see, like the first times you see Obi, he's sitting in the desert by some rocks.
Yeah.
And right next to him is a bottle of something. And it's the beginning of the trailer where it shows him down and out and depressed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are they gonna do it? Are they finally confirmed?
And look, yo, so there's that, and not only that, man, but like, look how he looks. He's like all disheveled.
Yeah.
His shirt looks
traumatized.
like it just has stains on it, like he hasn't washed it in like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like just telltale alcoholic behavior.
Yes,
you know?
I absolutely can. So here's the current issues people are having. The main one is with the Grand Inquisitor.
He does not look right.
He does not,
weird.
And so he looks completely weird. And so what it is people pointed out that he's supposed to be a Puan, and so a Puan when Utapau, when Obi-Wan goes to Utapau, the people are there and they kind of look like vampiric Nosferatu, if anyone knows what that means.
Yep.
Like the bald head, red-eyed vampires, like a disgusting vampire.
Yeah.
None of this Battinson shit. And but they have lines down their face. Right? And they're bald. And however, he does not look like one of his own people, and people have been taking clips of the Grand Inquisitor from the show and holding them up to other pictures of people of his species, and he doesn't look anything like them.
We can't have things like this, and we're already starting out. This is just a trailer. We can't already start with this shit.
Yeah, no,
People are already
well, yeah, they're better researchers than apparently the people who make it. And so here's the thing: I'm not, because I don't really like Rebels, and I don't really care about these guys. I don't really care if they get the Grand Inquisitor correctly or not.
Right.
But I do think that it's not. It's very unprofessional.
I'd say so.
You know, she doesn't talk to Filoni and them. She doesn't have a meeting. You know, this is Deborah Chow who's running the Obi-Wan show. She doesn't sit down. He doesn't go, who is that supposed to be? Right?
To be honest with you, man, that's kind of been the problem with Star Wars just in general, especially with the sequel trilogy, man. There was a lot of continuity errors, small shit and also very big things as well.
Yes.
The shows have done a lot better with it, though.
Yes.
They've done a lot better.
They've done a lot better. I just can't believe that this mistake is happening.
Yeah. I'll say this. It's given me Fallen Order vibes, but that's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, like, you know, he's in hiding, of course. Small fact, nerd fact for people who don't know. Apparently, Kenobi is a common name in Star Wars. It's like John or some shit.
Really?
So like him changing his name to Ben actually isn't as ridiculous as it sounds.
I don't think it was ever weird. I don't think that's weird. You know, to be honest, I always thought it was like a diminutive. You know.
Right.
Like you know how like, and you know, I don't know if people use this shit anymore, but like, what is it? Richard, you know, a diminutive of Richard is Dick, right? We all know it. It's the big one, right? It's the same. It's the equivalent of that, right?
Yeah, essentially. I think it's funny too that they tried to change Nightwing's name to Rick with an R. I know that's a digression, but I just had to throw that out.
Did they actually try that?
They tried it, but it failed miserably.
Oh, yeah,
like
I know that.
Years back.
Oh my god.
But nah, man. We got a female Inquisitor.
Yeah.
A lady of color with a sick ass hairdo.
Oh, yo, you know what you know what else I'm happy about? Looks like there's gonna be plenty of scenes off of Tatooine. Because after Boba, I want to get off that dust ball, man.
Talk about it.
Oh my god.
Shit, sir.
And so that planet gets way too much play.
It does. They have a Tatooine problem. I actually read an article about this too not that long ago. So I think a lot of us feel the same way. It's time for a change of scenery, man. Mando did it well. We went all over the place with Mando.
If you think about it, Boba Fett there was no reason Boba Fett ever had to take place on Tatooine.
Not at all.
He could have had adventures. He could have taken over a different crime syndicate. He could have gone, traveled, whatever it is. There was no reason to tie him on. I understand why Skywalkers are stuck to that planet, but if you're doing other stories, you don't have to be there.
Yeah. In fact, if Boba wasn't so, Tatooine obsessed, I don't think we would be griping as much with Obi-Wan, because of course it would make sense that he would be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes complete sense because that's where we left him and that's where he ends up by the time the original trilogy started. So that makes sense. But having it just go on this long is a little tiring. I'm tired of the desert. It's not a very aesthetically pleasing thing to look at.
Yeah, in the first place, it's not even cool. It's not even cool in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I'm glad they're doing other stuff. I don't love the Inquisitors because of those like spinning blades of theirs. But I will be happy to see different villains. I want to see more lightsaber fights. I'm glad they're exploring different parts of, the mythology. They're expanding the mythology of Star Wars. I have a good feeling about this one.
I do too. And here's my wish list for this, man. Now that it's an Obi-Wan show, okay? So that puts it like 30 years in front of what we just saw, or something like that with Boba. I think it's 30 years or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like 15, some shit, I don't know. Anyway, that's around the time, Cal Kestis is doing his thing.
Yeah.
Right? He's so like entrenched with Inquisitors. I'm just saying, if we're gonna do a Cal Kestis appearance, now's the time.
So you think? So here's the thing. I actually disagree. I don't think Obi-Wan's the right one for it.
You don't.
And here's why. I think it's going to be packed with so much stuff in it. So there's according to some of the leaks, and I think I said it already earlier in the here, Here's the thing. I want Cal Kestis 1,000%. I don't think Obi-Wan's the series to do it. And so here's what it is. We're going to have Qui-Gon up in there. Qui-Gon as a spirit is a character. There's going to be flashbacks to the Clone Wars. He's going to... The rumor is that they're going to threaten the life of Princess Leia. Not knowing who she is, but just threaten her to try to get Obi-Wan to come out of hiding. And what's his face? Jimmy Smits as Bail Organa's been in it. Confirmed.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it's on his IMDb that he's in there. So here's the whole deal. There's so many characters and so many things going on. I do not want them to cram another character in. Just like Boba Fett crammed a bunch of characters in who never had stories told about them. Like the mods, you don't even know who the mods are. Because there was no time to tell their story, and so I'd rather like if you're doing a 6 to 8 episode arc, I'd rather 3 or 4 characters where you get to get into their stories. Than
that's
20.
A fair point. That's a fair point. I actually was unaware that it was that jam packed.
Yeah. I mean,
that's huge. That's really huge.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be friggin' huge. And now the fact I didn't realize they're gonna have so many Inquisitors. I knew the girl was going to be an Inquisitor. I had no idea they were going to have all of them in there.
Did you get a count by chance? Did you see how many there were?
I didn't. So there's like a generic sister with a mask. I don't know which one it is because a lot of them wear similar masks. But I think I think what is it? The dude with the Raiden hat is going to be in there.
Raiden hat.
Yeah. What is he? Second brother? Ninth brother?
I can't ever keep up with the numbers, but he's a number and then a brother for sure.
Yeah, Laney says, I would like to know about the mods and the Wookiee. You're right, the Wookiee should have had some story.
Wasted potential. Actually, funny enough about him, now I wouldn't be shocked if this happened. His backstory is actually
Obi-Wan, yes.
Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Because they actually got into a fight years before Boba Fett. So I wonder if we'll see that again. I don't want to throw too much in there. I'm just saying
because it is possible because they've already created the Wookiee costume and they're like, hey, we can have him in Boba and I mean it's possible. It's certainly possible. Berlin wants to know in chat, is Fallen Order worth the play?
So 1,000%, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. But even beyond that, the gameplay and the story is enough to pull you in. Being a Star Wars fan is just, cherry on top.
Right.
It's got like a very Dark Souls sort of play style.
That seems to be all the rave nowadays. Everyone's trying to make their version of Dark Souls.
It isn't as torturous and evil as Dark Souls is. Difficulty, but it's enough to test you a little bit, and it's well worth it. I say check it out.
Okay. That's what's up. So do you have any final thoughts on Obi-Wan before we get into the main topic at hand tonight?
So final thoughts. I'm excited. I'm not gonna say anything about this one because I brought the fury of Boba Fett down on all of us, and I'm not.
We're still recovering. You ever wake up and forget that Ukraine is at war? Like I wake up and forget I'm Ukraine. There are two things I forget when I fall asleep. One is that Ukraine is being beat down by Russia, and the other thing is that Boba Fett ever happened.
Oh my god!
And then and it's like someone with amnesia. As soon as you see something on television that reminds you, I'm like, I see an image of Boba Fett, and I go, Boba Fett. Wait! Oh my god! And all the memories start rushing back. Again, I get a nosebleed.
My goodness, man! It's just. I can't believe we're here, but then I'm kind of happy we're here at the same time. It's weird. It's weird.
So I think Ewan McGregor I think he can pull off a lot of crazy stuff. Just because out of his charisma, people in general love him. He's a main character instead of a side character. I think it's going to be more compelling.
Yeah.
Just like I said, it's going to be jam packed with all these characters. Which for instance, I would hate it if Bail Organa got like a lot of screen time, but just the mere fact that he'll make an appearance is cool. The fact that Qui-Gon will make an appearance is cool, right?
I agree.
This is entertainment. This is entertainment.
I think we'll maybe get an Inquisitor for every episode. Maybe I don't know for sure. But yeah, I'm just excited. I can't wait to see what we got, man.
So
It's Obi-Wan, baby.
yeah, no, it is Obi-Wan. I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to see the rematch. It's gonna be good stuff. So glad it launched because I thought the trailer was coming out in the morning and I was gonna get ready to make a video about it. And I woke up and there was nothing but like Vanity. I think Vanity Fair or maybe Entertainment had a few pictures. And I was like, no trailer? What the hell, man? And I was pissed. And then when I went to go make a sandwich for lunch, I come back and suddenly I see a million people dropping videos on it. I was like, these sneaky fucks.
So this May 25th, is that right?
Yes, it will. Berlin, it will be on YouTube. This episode will be put up on thing. And yes, May 25th will be the air date of Obi-Wan.
So we have that, and then we also have Moon Knight as well. Is that right?
Yes, Moon Knight is actually this month, the 30th.
Man, look here. This is a good time to be alive. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's what it is. You know what it is? We might have too many things to complain about, and that's why we complain. Like, imagine if you took this Boba Fett series and brought it to the kids of the 80s. They would love the hell out of it.
Oh God, it'd be it'd be amazing.
Yeah, they wouldn't even know what to deal with it. So it could be that we were too critical. But we should be grateful. It is a good time to be a nerd. Right?
I like how you bring things full circle, man.
Yeah.
Don't ever let anyone tell you you're a grumpy dude, man.
Yo,
you see the good in both sides.
Oh, thank you, man. I was gonna say every woman I've ever dated said that about me, but that I'm some curmudgeon. But anyway, moving on. We got to get into our main topic, right? And you know what that is.
Oh Lord, let me get a sip of water before we get into this.
Yeah. Get hydrate, or dihydrate, bitches. Drum rolling. Look, Carmen's doing the drum roll for us.
Oh, here we go. All right, man. You ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready for this.
All right, you kick us off.
Okay, so we have to have a frank discussion, and this for my YouTube channel. This is where I end it. We're gonna have this discussion, and there'll be no more videos on the subject. Right? I did my ASMR review of it, and now we're having just a normal, frank discussion about none other than the Batman.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So, question is, you've seen the Batman?
Yes, I have.
And so the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to throw you a little curveball. The first thing we're going to talk about are what is good about the Batman. We're not going to say a single negative thing. We're only going to say happy thoughts about the Batman.
Oh, I can do that. I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me kick it off. So things I liked. I will say the movie was shot very well.
Beautiful cinematography.
Like just the shots, just the way they composed a lot of the shots and stuff like that. It looked great. The movie looked fantastic. I do like some of the casting choices that they made. I loved Jim Gordon. Okay.
Yeah.
I know people were pissed off that there was some race bending. I don't know if Steve's in that camp or not. But I will tell you that for characters like this, that shit doesn't really matter. And for Jim Gordon specifically, it was a good choice to go with that actor.
Jeffrey Wright is amazing.
Jeffrey Wright.
And so, my whole argument, my constant, I'll always defend this. It's not like being white is part of his character. So it doesn't matter who you cast as him, as long as they're good at the role, right?
Precisely. And that's exactly where we are with this.
Yeah, Hold Up is trying to get us kicked off of every platform. He says hashtag keep the whites white.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Steve. Got your troll hat on tonight. I see, my brother. So he was great. I gotta go to Boo. Gotta go to Bay. Selena Kyle. Kyle. Damn, first of all. And then secondly, perfect. She was great. She acted the role well. She had the physicality for it. She looked great. She brought it as Catwoman.
I absolutely agree. I think she was one. I think people have been saying like she's the best except for Michelle Pfeiffer. No, I think she is the best.
So we about to get controversial in here tonight because I actually agree.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Human beings have just a thing for nostalgia. I feel like it's coded into our genetics that we just look back on things in the past with fondness just because that's what we do.
Yes.
That doesn't mean we can't respect Michelle Pfeiffer, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we just aren't going to acknowledge the fact that Zoe Kravitz was actually fucking Catwoman.
Yes.
Like, not without some crazy Tim Burton ass shit.
Right.
Like, actually Catwoman from the books. Like, this is Catwoman.
And actually, look at Lainey's comment. Lainey, we're gonna save that for the second part where we talk about negatives. But I am 1,000% in agreement with you. Looks like Carmen and Izzy are also into that thought process. But we'll get into it in just a minute. But you're right. There are sometimes people just kind of cherish. They cherish certain roles, and they're like, no one will ever do the role like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, time goes on.
Time does.
It's not like sports. Sports, at least you have a definitive record that can be broken. Like, people are like, no one will be better than Babe Ruth. Eventually, there is going to be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so people won't let it go. But you're right. One of the problems with Michelle Pfeiffer is she's cheating because she's not actually playing Catwoman. She's playing someone named Catwoman. But that is not what that from her powers, her abilities, her character being a secretary. None of that is accurate.
Exactly.
And however, Zoe Kravitz, charming as fuck, lovely woman, amazing role, loved it.
She was charismatic the whole way, man. She brought it. She brought it. And there wasn't a wig that she wore that she didn't look great in. So that was good. I did also enjoy Paul Dano. Now, here's the thing about the Riddler. Part of me, I'll leave that for the negative. I will say overall, I did enjoy what they did with the Riddler. Okay. Because the Riddler is one of those characters. A lot of Batman characters are sometimes a little too kooky. Like, I think of the Mad Hatter, for instance. Like, it's hard for me to see them realize the Mad Hatter the way the Mad Hatter is in a film like this without making changes like they did for the Riddler. So I actually did like that.
So here's the thing. I do like it. I do like the Riddler that they gave us. I do. However, I don't think that the real Riddler was undoable. And I think the Arkham games did a wonderful Riddler.
That's true. That's true.
He was a great Riddler, and the fact that he was wearing his suit ironically, kind of like the gang members from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
With the bowler cap and the messed up jacket, and he's just being like a kind of crazy person. And I think that's totally doable. You don't have to make him a weirdo in a mask. I didn't fully understand those changes, and I didn't love them, but I will say Paul Dano's performance was great.
Definitely. And then, I will give it somewhat to Robert Pattinson. We're going to get into a lot of negatives regarding what happened with Batman. But I will give it to him in the fact that from an acting perspective, he acted his ass off, and I'm not going to take that away from that man.
Gray Winthrop says best Batman.
Hold on. Wait. Really?
Yeah, Gray Winthrop thinks he did the best performance as Batman.
No sarcasm. Like, you legit mean that, Gray? Sometimes I don't know if people mean it. I'm not trying to be whatever. I'm legit.
No, I know it seems like it's sarcastic, but I've had this conversation with Gray. Gray has posted in the Discord saying that, yes, they think as Batman, as the Caped Crusader, best performance of that.
Okay. Okay, I got you. Okay. I mean, if I'm being honest, in my opinion, he damn sure wasn't the worst. In my mind, if I think about this, I'd probably place him about where you did, Mantis. You said 4, right?
Yeah,
4.
4.
I'd put him there.
Sean saying Bale was the best. I'm a Bale man. I can put my money behind Bale.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, wow. This is interesting because I think everyone might have their own favorite.
Oh, everyone does. I don't want to say argument, but I got into a small debate with someone I actually really respect about this. And that fact became truth to me, that everyone has their own interpretation of Batman that they prefer. and
Right.
that influences how they feel about this movie, and then who they pick as their favorite Batman. I would maybe go with Bale, maybe as one, but I'd have to really marinate on it.
Yeah, no, honestly, I honestly feel like it's one of those things that the list could fluctuate.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even sure where I put Keaton, you know?
So actually, I put Keaton pretty high. Keaton pretty high, and let me tell you why. I would even put him at 2 or 3, and here's why. Michael Keaton, in my opinion, actually fully encompassed the dichotomy between Batman and Bruce Wayne in a way that other people have not done in the movies. Okay, now I know that that's a lot to say,
Right.
but just think about the movie, right? How he was a comedian, right? Like he has comedic chops. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And he showcased that as Bruce Wayne. But when he put on that suit, the dude was a completely different person. Like, I thought, if you think about it, you would not believe that this guy is Batman.
Yeah, and actually,
he acted as Batman.
we'll absolutely get into that because I think that's an important part of the Batman mythos, which I think it's possible. Well, we'll talk about it. It looks like Sean is saying, and then there's, of course, Kevin Conroy from Batman the Animated Series, and he's a next level guy too.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I mean, he is the voice of Batman. You think of a voice of Batman, that's who you think about. You think of Kevin Conroy. So I'm not gonna ever argue that. I mean, he's always gonna have a special place in my heart. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Was there anything else you really liked about this movie before we get into the other aspects?
Let me think here. Oh, the Penguin was great.
Oh, Penguin was great.
He was actually another one of the top, one of the pros of the movie, along with he's up there. The makeup looked fantastic, and he played the role good. And I see that they actually did order that show for HBO Max.
Right.
And I was not feeling that, but when they, it's clearly just going to be a one shot, and it's going to be like a limited series with a few episodes. I'm actually okay with that, as long as they go somewhere with it.
Well, what I assume they're going to do is they're going to be setting up that he's the emperor of crime or the head of crime by the sequel. Because you know how he was the number 2 guy in the movie,
right? And
then at the end they were like, and then I think Jeffrey Wright was even talking about a power vacuum. He's like, they just took out Carmen Falcone. There's going to be a power vacuum, and then they immediately cut to Penguin's face hearing him say that. Yeah. Meaning that he's gonna come take over.
Right.
And he's gonna become from a joke. He was a crime guy, but everyone thought he was a joke, and now he's gonna be the real deal.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. But that's all I got, man.
Okay. So other things I'll say, and I think this might go into visuals. I really like the bat suit.
You did.
Yeah, I thought it was well envisioned. I don't like that there weren't. I had some nitpicks on it. Like I don't like the forearms. Like I don't know what he does with those arrows.
I agree.
I didn't fully understand that one, but I did like the look of it, and I do like that the face could still emote, even though it was a Batman costume. Yeah. That was well done. I'm gonna say I liked all the things, and one could say that it's a ripoff. Every time they tried to copy Seven, they did a good job. This whole serial killing pursuit thing. Creepy, silly serial killer as a villain, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I feel you on that, man. Yeah.
Gray, are you asking? Gray says there's going to be a Penguin show on HBO Max. Yeah, we were just talking about that. It was Seven and Sun City Vibes. Oh, Sin City Vibes. Yes. Right. Seven and Sin City. Absolutely.
I did Sin City too. Yeah, I did see that.
And so, and I would actually say the first hour and a half I really liked, even though I had nitpicks. I wasn't going to turn on the movie. And then I did.
as did I, and so did the gentleman in front of me who started snoring.
Yeah, and so actually, let's talk about that. I'm just gonna ask the question straight out. Was the movie too long?
1,000,000%. Dear God, was that movie too long? You could have cut that shit by a good 45 minutes, maybe even more. You know what? 30 minutes. I would have been good with 2.5 hours. I could have done that.
Yes.
3 hours? That is just absurd at that point. Dude took me clean out. I'm usually the type that wants my movies longer.
Yes.
Okay. When I hear that the movie's 3 hours, I'm gassed up. I'm like, all right, give me more. You know, I'm a Bat stan, right? So I will take as much Batman as I can get. But here I am in the movie theater. Every time people get quiet and I hear this dude snoring loudly in front of me and his friends aren't even trying to wake him up, it just brings the mood down a little bit, you know? It made me realize I'm bored. I'm bored sitting in here watching this.
Right, and usually if I like a movie, I'm like a little kid. I'm like it ends, and I'm like, oh man, I want more Avengers. Right, but this, I was happy to leave. I was fidgety. I was moving around. I was like, what's going on? I was putting my feet up. Thank God. Like, what it is I like to watch movies super close. Right. So nobody ventured down that far down. It was IMAX. I'll lean back all the way back and watch it. It's I'm into that. But I was moving all around. I was like, when you try to put a toddler to sleep and they're flapping around, they're just moving around. They just won't do it. Yeah. That was me and the Batman. Right. Except I won't stay awake was the problem.
Yeah. Gosh, man.
I think I've said it in my last one. I've had 3 major complaints. One of them is way too long. So let me ask you, if you were to cut on the length concept, if you were to cut the movie, what would you cut out of it?
So if I'm being honest, that entire last scene in the stadium or wherever they were when the flood happened,
the Madison Square Garden, but it's really Gotham Square Garden.
Gotham Square Garden.
Yeah.
So I would have either cut or redid that, because to me it felt tacked on. To me, it felt like they went back and said, we need a big action set piece at the end of this movie.
Right. They
Otherwise, it's just gonna end and it's gonna be over. But after they had their little scrap in the Iceberg Lounge, and the Riddler killed Falcone from the roof, I felt like that's where it was supposed to end. That's where I thought it was supposed to end.
Yes, I mean, I understand that they arrest him, and then they arrest the Riddler, and then they have he has to have a meeting or whatever, and he has to be like, what did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? I'm Batman. But no, I feel you. And then they decided to tack on another 45 minutes.
Yep.
Lainey O is going for it in there. She says there wasn't enough action for it to be that long, and the scenes that they tried to bulk him up in was just pathetic. You could tell he was wearing a muscle shirt under that costume. The ending completely was disconnected. Yep. I mean, I'll go even further, because if you actually think about the ending, it actually doesn't make any sense. Right?
Well, here we go.
So here we go. The entire time, Riddler's whole point is he was killing corrupt cops and administrators who were making the world a worse place. But then at the end, he gets his cult of incels to randomly take guns and just to shoot random people in Madison Square Garden. Is he here to punish the corrupt or just murder everybody? They're completely conflicting ideas.
Yep.
And again, so I think it might have worked better if the cult was acting on their own. If they were like a copycat cult or something.
Right.
But they didn't have the foresight to do that. They're just like, just have them blast people. But another fact, the new mayor, he gets rid of the corrupt mayor. The new mayor isn't dirty at all, and his men are still shooting at her. And I'm like, isn't she better than the corrupt mayor?
See? That's what I mean about tacked on, because you miss details like that if you don't actually think it through.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Stone, welcome in. Michael Stone says the new Batman was trash emoji. Yes,
I concur, my friend.
Yeah, we're just ripping a new one. And so there is a subplot I would absolutely get rid of that I think would just make it superior, not just that final battle.
Oh.
But I think the Martha Wayne is insane thing is completely, like, it almost didn't make any sense, and it really had no place being in there.
That was their way of attempting to separate this Batman from the previous Batmans, because Thomas and Martha Wayne are always noble doctors,
right?
Philanthropists, heroes, which makes their death more tragic, right? Well, I guess this time, they want to put in a twist, to make you go, oh, well, I didn't really see that coming. And here's the thing, the Martha Arkham thing, I've either read or heard about it before. where she is an Arkham.
Yeah,
And
so that is in the
you know,
comics.
Mental illness goes through her family, and Bruce Wayne inherited it, which explains his habits of dressing up and beating the shit out of people at night.
Right.
Which is kind of clever, but it didn't come together well in this movie.
Laney says why he's a furry. It explains why he's a furry. Because he dresses up like a bat. So, I know that plot line. The only difference in that plot line, here's the difference, though. In the comics, all of Gotham and the world know it to be true. In this, somehow they keep it a secret.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If she's an heiress and she's rich and she's powerful, there's no way people wouldn't know about her mother and her and all this stuff.
That's true. Public eye kind of shit,
Yeah, absolutely. And so then another further thing is the new thing, like you said, try to be an edgelord, to try to make Batman edgy, is they're trying to shit all over Thomas Wayne's his legacy.
Yeah.
And so he is normally a white knight of Gotham, a good perceived, but if you notice both in the Joker and in this, they try to ruin his name just for a little twist.
Yep.
For a little shock value stuff. But yeah, I would have gotten rid of Carmine Falcone and him having that conversation in his office. I would have gotten rid of Carmine Falcone and him talking during the funeral scene.
Yeah.
I would have gotten rid of all of it because it's just added weight, or should I say length, to the movie.
And that's precisely what it was. I'd be shocked if there were a lot of cut scenes that are going to get released. I'm sure there are, but there can't be too many. And whatever they're going to release when this thing comes out.
Apparently, there's an extra scene where he visits Arkham and meets the Joker.
Oh my!
Have you heard about this? Oh my God!
I did not hear about this.
See, Michael Stone just quickly says, "Yeah, it dragged on. Why 3 hours? It could have been 90 minutes." Well, 90 minutes I think is a bit much. I think maybe 2 hours 15 minutes. But anyway, the whole point is, so here's basically what it is. Joker is supposed to be someone he already fought in his year one experience. And to get into the mind of a psychopath, Batman was going to go visit Arkham to do kind of like Silence of the Lambs thing. Where he talks, where there's supposed to be a scene where he visits him and he's like, what is this Riddler guy thinking? And then, he taunts him from his jail cell.
Yeah, I'm so glad they cut that. That would have just put too much. That would have put more convoluted ass detail in this movie that it didn't need. So I'm glad they cut it. I'll watch again just to see it. But I'm not necessarily thrilled about it.
Well, I'm not paying for it. That's for sure. I'm not paying for another viewing of this.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So other than length and extraneous plot, why don't you? I'll let you unleash the beast. What issues did you have with this movie?
Yeah. So before I get into the issues, there was one thing I actually missed that I liked probably the most in this movie.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe I missed it. So real quick, it was actually the opening of the movie. I loved his narration.
Right.
I loved when he was talking. And he talked about how fear is a weapon, and when the light's in the sky, people are scared, and then they juxtapose these scenes of these goons doing bad shit, and then whenever they look in the shadows, they get scared, they're scared something's gonna jump out.
That was wonderful.
That was Batman right there.
Yeah, the guy drops the spray can and it rolls into the shadows, and he decides not to go after it.
Exactly.
As if it's gonna eat him up and take him away.
Perfect. Absolutely. I loved that. I loved that. But that's all I got on the good stuff.
Oh God.
Now,
real quick, Public says the scene in the hospital was so hard to sit through. They are referring to Alfred.
I'd say most of it was hard to sit through, but I'm not gonna argue with that either.
Laney asks, were those guys in the beginning Joker goons? So they were clearly the Joker gang, which are not necessarily, don't always work for the Joker, but they're a street gang inspired by the Joker.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, the Joker was the backstory of the movie that they just, I think, they cut out the lines for it, is that Batman had already saved the city in the past from the Joker. which is why Joker's already in Arkham when you meet him in the movie.
Yeah. So first of all, hold on. Let me take
Let leash the beast. Just let it out, brother. You're in a safe space.
Let's start with Batman. Okay. And to be honest with you, I think most of my problems are actually going to be with Batman, okay? I don't know how long we got. I don't think we got 3 more hours, so I'll try to condense this. Yo, first and foremost, what the hell were they thinking with that Bruce Wayne? He looked like a school shooter. He looked like the type of... He looked like he had a shotgun tucked under his blazer, like he was ready to just unleash on the first person who picked on him.
You know what would have been an interesting twist at the end of the movie? If Batman discovered he's the Riddler, and it's like his split personality.
See, I wouldn't have been shocked. They made Bruce Wayne into a freak in this movie. He was just a weirdo. Like when we talked about it after I got out, how he just awkwardly stares at people and doesn't say shit.
Yo, the funeral scene drove me nuts. He's literally talks to 5 different people. They talk to him, and he doesn't say hello. He doesn't say goodbye. He doesn't respond to the things they're saying, like a creep, like some sort of mutant motherfucker. It was crazy.
Yo, he looked disheveled. His hair. He looked like he should be singing about the Black Parade. Okay.
Yes.
He just joined My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, he looked like My Chemical Romance.
That's what he looked like.
Also, the inside of the mansion, the Wayne mansion, was out of another century, which I thought I was like, that looks like the set of a My Chemical Romance video.
Dude, he walked around in fucking guy liner. Like,
yeah.
Can you not have this man looking like a damn raccoon?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we not do that? But anyway.
Gray says, I will give you that, Courtney. Gray Winthrop has given you the point and and is agreeing with you that his Bruce Wayne was not up to snuff.
Easily the most abysmal Bruce Wayne that I have seen in any of these movies.
And like we said, it's very important that he keeps his separate identities, like a split personality almost. Bruce Wayne and Batman are totally different. The fact that the director decided, and writer and director decided, he was like, no, don't split them, just be the same weirdo. Is just it flies in the face of conventional Batman, but it also flies in the face of logic, because I think people could figure out that he was Batman.
Easily. Reclusive billionaire who you never see. Okay, how does Batman have all of this shit? Oh, well, let's look at this guy. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't add up.
Hold Up says worse than Val Kilmer.
Oh, he's the worst Bruce Wayne ever. George Clooney was a better Bruce Wayne than him.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there because George Clooney would be Bruce Wayne. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That's all I'll give him about that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, okay, moving along before I get lynched. Okay. I don't want to get lynched. So let's move over to Batman. Okay.
Okay.
Because now I'm about to really get pissed off about this. First and foremost, I do not at all like that they did not at all realize how Batman actually operates. Okay, what do I mean by that? It's simple. Okay, Batman would never, ever just stand out in the open in the daylight with his face fully exposed, talking to cops, carrying people around. That's not what Batman does.
Yes,
Batman stays in the shadows at all times because he doesn't want to be identified. You don't want it. He's got a cowl on, right? That's cool, but you could still make shit out with that. That's another thing I liked about Michael Keaton's Batman. If you remember that movie, after he saves Vicky Vale and he takes her to the cave, she constantly tries to look at his face and he always turns around so she can't see. That's what Batman does.
Or remember when he has to in Dark Knight, when he has to stop the Joker from bombing, but it's the middle of the day, and he's like, "Oh my God, I got to stop this from happening." And Alfred goes, "Should I prep the Batmobile?" And he goes, "Never during the day, Alfred," as he's storming off. And then he takes his Porsche, and he has to do a clever way to save them. Exactly. He has to find a way to save the day as Bruce Wayne, because he would never wear the bat suit out during the day.
Precisely.
It's insane.
Look, even what Ben Affleck's Batman did, how he had a voice changer, I loved that idea. That's the kind of shit that there's just a little attention to detail like that.
Yeah, I saw the chat making fun of the vocoder earlier, but I'm actually pro the vocoder. I think it's smarter than making a growl sound with your voice.
I agree, because if he just talks, you're gonna recognize his voice. You need to disguise your voice, and that's the way to do it.
Word.
I did actually appreciate that about his Batman.
Yeah.
I do not like how his Batman moved. Okay, is he Eeyore or is he Batman? Is he just gonna let me walk towards this bad guy and stomp my feet really loud? Nah, bro. Batman doesn't just walk like he's fucking gliding across the floor at a pageant. You know what I mean? Like, the dude was so slow. I was getting pissed off watching him walk around. Will you go?
And actually, one of the things that pissed me, right, you're standing behind him and you're like, move, motherfucker. I'm trying to get through.
Let's go. Come on, I got places to go.
And another funny thing that got me, and I think I brought this up with you the day after I saw it, is that why is Batman using the front door? When have you? He literally knocks on the club. He knocks on the club and they're like, "Hello." He's like, "I want to see the Penguin," and they slam the door in his face. I'm like, "Well, I could have told you that was going to happen, because real Batman doesn't use front doors because that's what's going to happen."
Dude, people in the chat, did you hear that? Batman knocked on the front door. Can I come in and talk to the Penguin? When will Batman ever knock on the front door? You know what would happen? We talked about this. The Penguin would be in his office. He would turn around and get a drink, and then turn around and Batman would be standing there. That's how Batman works. He doesn't just knock on the front door and show up and beat people's asses in the club and make a scene. That's not how Batman operates.
Nelly says at least he's polite.
I mean, I suppose so. He proceeded to break the dude's jaw, but you know,
did I tell you how I thought it would have been? We could have had our way, but also could have played out the same points of that movie. Exactly as you described. The Penguin's in his office, like the scene before he decides he's gonna go to the Penguin. Then we see it's nighttime. Penguin's in his office. He's doing something. Maybe he gets a drink, like you said. He turns around and Batman's there, and he's like, "Uh-oh." And he has a tough conversation with him. He runs into Zoe Kravitz. A normal scene. Scene's going normal, other than the way he's introduced. Then, while he's there, the Penguin's men discover him there. So he has to run out into the club and get into a fist fight with guys on the way out.
Then that makes a lot.
Rather than a fist fight on the way in.
Right.
Yeah, see, that would have played better, and the same things could have been played out. You know.
And then another thing. I'm trying to condense it. This might be my last thing. This Batman was incredibly inefficient, and I feel like he was kind of unskilled in a lot of ways. What do I mean by that? Many things. They wanted to focus on the detective aspect of this Batman. Which is clear that they did, but did he ever really get ahead of the Riddler? Ever? He was always one step. I feel like he got sunned up mentally the whole.
Oh,
Spanish
the Riddler
thing
was always
really
ahead of
pissed
him.
Me off.
Oh, the Spanish, he doesn't have Google Translate.
Thing.
He doesn't have Google Translate. He can't Google Spanish. He didn't want to double check Alfred's Spanish.
Dude, the world's greatest detective made a grammatical error in Spanish. Get out of here with this nonsense. I am not.
Another thing that I had a problem with was the fact that there's the incel cult, and every day in this country, police departments, CIA, FBI, NSA, whoever it is, constantly find these chat rooms where these guys are plotting shit. There is no way 500 dudes would join a kill army without anyone figuring that out.
Right, yeah, the FBI would be all on that shit.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. Yeah.
Yo, look
especially
at what.
If it was. What's that?
Oh, snap. Look what Gray Winthrop put in the chat, because Gray is a big lover of this movie, defender of this movie. Gray Winthrop says, okay, this is actually, I saw a good explanation of. The first time he goes, he knocks as Batman. The second time he goes as Bruce. The third time he sneaks in. The movie was about him growing and learning.
Y'all are haters.
You're all haters, was what she throws in the end. That's interesting. I didn't think about that. I guess I would have to rewatch it to see if that. So I'm saying in future movies, if he's sneaking, I will appreciate that more.
So here's the thing. That could actually would be legit. But I will also say this: my point stands about this Batman being inefficient because let's go to the other side of this now, okay? Okay, and I might be a little nitpicky, but I'm sorry. I'm a Batman stan, and I'm gonna die on this. Yo, this Batman, I don't want to say he was not a good fighter because he was okay, but he got shot way too much. He got shot far. Is he Batman or Superman?
Well, yeah, because they made it.
Superman should be getting shot like that and the bullets bouncing off.
Right, they made his armor good. His armor is flexible like a ninja, so he can do all sorts of crazy stuff. But it's so durable that he doesn't even flinch at bullets hitting it.
Man, he got shot way too much. The end scene when he was dealing with Riddler's lackeys, right?
Yeah.
For him to be going up against a bunch of like neckbeard basement dwelling punks with rifles and to get fucked up that bad,
yeah,
I was sitting there. I'm like, I can't because for all the shit that Affleck's Batman gets, he handles his business. Okay, that warehouse scene was the most Batman thing I've ever seen.
I mean,
that was the most Batman shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Ben Affleck in Batman v Superman, where he dismantles the mob. A room full of mafia guys with machine guns.
If you put Pattinson's Batman and Affleck's Batman in a cage and said fight, he would fucking murder Pattinson, and it wouldn't even be a close contest. That's what I think of when I see Batman, right?
Yo, Nelly says, I haven't seen it yet, but I keep hearing it's pretty much the great value version of Batman.
Hey, yo, let me just say, okay? I am not saying this is a bad movie. I'm not. What I am saying is from my perspective, 35-year-old man who's loved Batman his entire life, okay? I did not fully enjoy this movie. I did not. Is it a bad movie? I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. Would I go back and see it again? No, I would not. Would I watch it again? Maybe. Okay? There's just too many things about it that I did not enjoy. I didn't like how Batman was realized. I hated how Bruce Wayne was realized. And I also have a thing with everything having to be so hyper realistic all the time.
Yes, there is.
Why does everything have to be so hyper realistic?
Testify, man.
It doesn't. The appeal to me personally, and this goes back to what I said earlier about people's preference in Batman. My appeal in Batman is the fact that he is a mortal dude. He's a dude like you and me who is so cunning and so skilled that people with godlike powers respect the shit out of him.
Right.
I didn't see that with this Batman. Oh, it's Batman in his second year. Okay. He sucked ass. Batman never sucks ass in the different ways that this guy did.
Right.
He's still efficient, he's still cunning, and he's still skilled. I don't feel like this Batman was that.
And what's really interesting about this is it comes down to competency. And so we prefer our heroes competent. And when they're incompetent, it annoys people or they have issues, right? So it's true it's his second year of being the Batman, but he still, like you said, should have been skilled enough to take out a room of incels, untrained incels. And if he's not competent enough to do that, then I don't know what to tell you, brother. You're not going to save a city.
I would have done just as well. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Come on.
And so, one of the things that pissed me off the most, that just grinded my gears to the end, it was a part that like got me to my core. Not only in the funeral scene did I have to watch creepy Bruce Wayne walk around, but later on, when Gil Coulson crashes the car into the funeral, and he has a bomb strapped to his neck and a cell phone in his hand. Batman Bruce goes away. He gets into his bat suit. The bomb squad is there with a robot trying to help him get out of the collar. Batman comes and disturbs that. He does not even help this motherfucker get out of the collar.
Sure doesn't.
And he literally lets this guy get blown up in front of him.
And he didn't try.
And he didn't try to take the collar off for him. At least take the collar off.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, what is this, man? What am I watching?
Yeah. Batman would have saved that dude.
Or also that scene, actually the car chase scene I'm going to say this about it, and this has to do with the cinematography. So beautiful. That it was really well done, I think. The way the chase is. The thing that bothered me at the end of the chase, there's a giant explosion that kills like 50 people. I'm like, why did Batman just do that?
Reckless, man.
Reckless. I mean, I was like, what is going on?
He could have killed Penguin too, to be honest with you. Like if that was as hyper realistic as the movie was supposed to be, Penguin would have been broken into a million pieces with how many times that car flipped over.
yeah. Oh my God. And so, and the thing, one of the problems that hates me is because his incompetence ends up. They don't show it taking him down, but it should have taken down Commissioner Gordon's entire career. Why? Because at the beginning of the movie, the police department, even his boss or whatever, was saying, like the mayor was like, you can't work with this vigilante. He's like, no, trust me. He saved the city once. He can save us again. He's a good guy. However, Batman only increased the body count and made everything more dangerous.
Made everything worse. He
didn't actually even solve the case of the Riddler. The Riddler just got defeated by normal police work.
He literally he went to a cafe
and gave himself
up.
And
what did Batman do?
And so what are you adding to the situation? Are you adding, what is it? Are you adding value? Are you demonstrating value, Batman? No, you failed to do D out of the dentist system. So that's what grinds my gears.
Dude, it grinds mine too. And another dude, oh my God. The final part, what was so it was flooded, right?
Yeah.
Gotham Square was flooded, and he flies over to whatever the apparatus was that was hanging from the ceiling. What was that? It was like a scoreboard or something.
Yeah.
And then he cuts it down and he like falls into the water. I'm sitting there and I'm looking around. I'm like, what the fuck?
That took me a minute to get to. I was like, wait, what did he just do? He did something heroic. They're making it look like he did something. And what it was is the scoreboard was going to electrify all the people. So the heroic act was cutting the electrical wire and saving the people from electrocution.
But here's my thing. Why did he have to jump? You mean to tell me he couldn't throw some kind of blade or some kind of batarang and cut the damn rope? Why did he have to sloppily cling onto it, cut it, and then fall to the ground?
Right. I agree. It was unsmooth. It was very unsmooth. Gray says
so sloppy and inefficient. I just can't do it.
Gray in the chat says, I think Matt Reeves really liked the Joker, which is all about mental illness. Bruce Wayne is super self-involved and depressed for most of the movie, which makes him a worse Batman. Public says, don't even get me started on the Joker. Right, because the Joker they depicted for the short time wasn't even funny.
He wasn't, man. He gave a riddle and he laughed, and then that
scene should have been omitted. That should have been cut too.
Yeah.
So I had trouble because I really wanted to like this movie. Like I said, I really like the investigation. I like the Penguin. I like all this stuff in it. But there were just these things that I was like, just kept bothering me about the movie.
It was always something. I felt like I could never really just sit back and enjoy it without being like just pestered by something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And maybe that just comes from me being a fucking dweeb about all of this shit. That's definitely what it is. But like you said, man, the first hour and a half, definitely that opening scene, I was all in. Zoe Kravitz represented. She was fantastic. Like I said, Commissioner Gordon was great. I enjoyed the Riddler. I enjoyed the Penguin.
I really hope to see Zoe Kravitz return in that next movie with a full costume accurate costume, being full-blooded, a full-blooded cat burglar.
That's right.
That's what I want to see.
Hot cat burglar. That's Catwoman.
And so right now, I'm feeling justified because at least the Batman, its audience score has gone down and it's at 89% right now. I was angry when people were saying it was genius and I went and it was not genius. I think that's what made me turn on it too.
I really don't understand why so many people are saying it's like, I heard someone say it's like the best superhero movie of the past decade. One guy I know said that. People are saying it's like the greatest superhero movie. And I'm like, can you please explain why?
Oh, wait, before we get into that, and look, Lainey finally gets her point across because we've been sitting on this since the good portion of the episode. Lainey says, why didn't they bang? I absolutely agree, and I actually know where they should have banged, and I know how they should have been. I know I sound like some weird fanfic dude who's writing pornos about Batman and Catwoman, but I know exactly how it should have gone down. Right? Remember the scene where it's the dawn, and they're in a construction site. And that's where he starts confronting her, and he's mad at her about having a relationship with Falcone.
Yeah.
Carmine Falcone. Yeah. And she's like, he's my father, and all that stuff, and they start getting real emotional and emo. They should have banged right then and there. And you know what? He should have kept his cowl on.
He's not. Well, I mean, he wouldn't take it off anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
anyone in this movie, he wouldn't have taken it off.
Yeah, no,
he
should have taken off his armor and everything, but just kept the cape and cowl on.
You just had like a little flap. Yeah, I got you.
There we go. That would have been awesome. That is definitely a negative. I am agreeing with Laney in the chat. That is absolutely a negative. Why didn't they?
Yeah. This Batman was way too much of a freak, like an antisocial weirdo freak, to be interested in sex. To be honest with you.
Right.
So, whatever. Yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. But it is what it is. It was the movie that we got. Maybe not the movie we deserved. I think we deserved better.
Definitely.
So here's the question. Sequel comes around. Are you going to check it out?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. So here's what's going to happen, okay? I don't know what the future looks like in regards to how movie deals and streaming will go, but I will do this. If they still do the thing where in 45 days it goes to HBO Max, I will wait. I will not go to the theater.
Right.
I will watch it on HBO Max.
Yeah.
If it goes back to, in 3 months it'll go to HBO Max, I would probably go. I would guess. I think I would go. Because again, I wouldn't say it's the worst movie I've ever seen, but I did not like it. I don't think I liked it.
So I'm in agreement. I would have to see what the trailers kind of look like. I would actually let other people go to the next Batman, and they have to tell me one thing: does he use the front door or not? And if he uses the front door, I'm freaking out.
I'm sorry. That just, you can explain it, but it still just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Right. But yo, Courtney, thank you for stopping by and having this very candid, very frank, very necessary conversation about the Batman.
Look, man, it was my pleasure. It's always good to come on here and talk it up with you. I mean, we talk it up all the time anyway, but it's good to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love it. And so do you have any final thoughts on it before we wrap?
Yeah. Look, don't take my judgment for it or our judgment for it. If you want to go see it, definitely check it out. You might enjoy it more than we did. But if you are a diehard Batman fan, just understand that, you might not be getting what you were looking for. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there we go. Do you have any shout outs or plugs, shameless self-promotions you want to spread to the world right now?
A shout out to all of you beautiful human beings in the chat and green room. Thank you for being so kind to me. As far as plugs, you can check out Saber Light Nights. It's my martial arts lightsaber.
Where can they find that? That's on. You said you have a joint Facebook page.
Oh, we're all over the place. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Saber Light Nights.
Twitch. Yep. Saber Light Nights. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And shout outs to everyone, including Public Friend, Gen Y, Cincy Star, The Crunchy Mantis, Sean 1, Sean 2, Izzy, Lanio, Gray Winthrop, The Hold Up TV, Hannah Banana, HD, Matt Stone, and everybody else who's wandered in here and just makes this an amazing community. Thank you for stopping by our live stream. Remember to keep tuning in every Wednesday night to Rogue Planet, where I, the Fat Mantis, do all sorts of reviews and shenanigans and other wonderful things. If you don't catch the live here on Spotify Green Room, you can always find the recast on YouTube. That's a voice of the Fat Mantis. Until next time, guys, ciao for now.